Are you someone that is still confused as to what the heck chest voice and head voice are? Like, no matter how many YouTube videos you've watched or how many exercises you've done, you still don't understand the difference? Hi, my name is Veronica Kokos, and if you don't know me already, I am a voice teacher with over 10 years of experience. I am located here in the Richmond, Virginia area, teaching students locally, as well as students located across the United States through online lessons. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about head and chest voice, discussing the differences between the two, discussing why they feel so different to us, and also doing some exercises with you to help you explore these different parts of the voice. So let's first talk about what head and chest voice are. So you may have heard these terms before, but the way that I like to teach students about these ideas is that chest voice is really where our speaking voice lives. Like, plain and simple, when we're speaking all day, we are using our chest voice. And head voice is a little bit different in that people often describe it as sounding lighter. It sounds a little bit hootier. I also like to think of head voice as like that Disney princess voice. Okay, so it's a little bit higher, a little bit lighter. Now, we're not going to get too scientific today, but what you should know about chest and head voice is that the reason why they sound so different is because there are these muscles in our larynx. One muscle actually thickens the vocal folds, so it makes them nice and thick. And then the other muscle actually lengthens the vocal folds, so it really stretches them out. And when we're singing in chest voice, we're really getting a lot of thickening going on in the vocal folds, okay? They're a little bit wider. Whereas when we're singing in head voice, when we're singing those higher notes, we're getting more stretch. So this is kind of why things feel and sound so different to us when we're working in chest voice versus head voice. And the reason why I think accessing head voice can be so hard for some singers is because we don't talk up here, okay? I'm not speaking like that all day long. I'm not speaking like Minnie Mouse, right? So accessing head voice can be kind of difficult for that exact reason, because all day long we're not getting a lot of stretch in the vocal folds. We're getting a lot of thickening going on, which is why chest voice is so much easier for singers to access. But this is also why accessing head voice can be really tricky for singers. Now, in this video today, we're going to do a little exercise here in a second to really help access the head voice and, explore that a little bit. We're not going to be doing a chest voice exercise only because chest voice is really where the speaking voice lives. If you can really get in touch with your speaking voice when you're doing exercises that have you going on the lower end of the scale, that'll be really helpful. But for today, we're just going to explore what head voice feels like and how different that can be from what chest voice feels like. So what we're going to do here is called the puppy whimper. And like I said, this is just an exercise for exploring what head voice might feel like for you. And so with that in mind, as we do this exercise, I want you to just notice how using this part of your voice feels for you. Noticing what it feels like, whether it feels lighter, breathier, I don't know. I've heard all sorts of things from different students. A lot of students have described head voice to me as like something they feel coming out of between their eyebrows. So really it can be anything. But getting really observant and aware here will really help us get clear on what head voice feels like to us. So for this exercise, we're going to do the puppy whimper, and it goes like this. Woo, woo, woo. So go ahead and try that for me, doing your best puppy imitation. Breathing in. Woo, woo, woo. Now try that a little bit higher. Woo, woo, woo. I think you kind of get the point here. We're really just imitating a puppy to feel out what head voice feels like to us. And like I said, I want you to notice how doing this sort of exercise feels to you. Thinking of different adjectives you could use to describe that, whether it's lighter, breathier, Disney princess, whatever it may be, to really kind of create these little bookmarks in your mind for what it feels like so you can come back to it later. And once you feel really comfortable with tapping into this part of the voice, using things like the puppy whimper, woo, 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 really working not to push when you do an exercise like this, really letting the breath guide you through it, keeping things light. Once you feel like you've gotten that sensation down, I would take that same feeling using those sorts of little mental bookmarks you created for yourself to describe that part of your voice, taking that feeling and applying it to a scale like this. Or something like that, that really works on developing that part of your voice. In my Curious Singer membership, we actually have a lot of exercises that work on head voice, and in fact we have like a whole month where we discuss head and chest voice and work on that part of our singing. So if you want more information on that program, you can actually find that down below in the description. But one thing I want to emphasize here is that patience is key. With anything in singing, patience is so important, but especially when it comes to things like head and chest voice, especially head voice, since it's not a part of the voice that we normally use throughout our speaking day. Again, patience is super important here. It's going to be tricky, it's going to be difficult, but if you can get really, really clear on what head voice and chest voice feel like to you, creating those little mental bookmarks that I talked about earlier, you can come back to those feelings again and again as you practice these different exercises. And again, we discuss all of this in the Curious Singer membership. All information on that can be found in the description. In the meantime, like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments, and happy singing, y'all!